Our first question is, how can CPAs remind the public, their clients, and regulators that audits are still a valid, necessary, and effective method of accountability following the financial crisis, and why is that important?
They can. These are the questions, by the way, that are asked by our concept release on changing the audit reporting model. And auditors can contribute very directly and importantly to that project by responding to the concept release. We are interested in seeing the views of the profession on what it thinks it can do and should do to make the audit more relevant. We're proposing 4 areas where the auditors could do this. One is in commenting on matters that are outside the financial statements, such as, but things which they have seen within the company, such as the strength of the company's process for reaching its estimates and determining its critical accounting policies, the investment it makes in internal audit, whether the quality of its internal audit function is appropriate. Those are areas that are not part of the reported financial information, but they are areas where the auditor performing a thorough audit has a clear view. So one of the issues inquired of by the concept release is whether, if the auditors have a clear view on some of these matters, should those be part of emphasis paragraphs and additional disclosures that the audit reporting model includes. An additional area that is of great interest to us is whether or not there should be an auditor's discussion and analysis, whether the auditor should audit the financial information that is contained in management's discussion and analysis and elsewhere in the financial statements, but is not part of the audited financial presentation. That's a more controversial area, but it's one in which investors have expressed some interest, and if auditors did it, they would certainly be more relevant. Whether the audit reporting model should include clarification of what an audit is and is not is another proposal and another area of comment where auditors can make a real difference in deciding what they think they can do and should do to make their reporting process more meaningful to investors. Whether or not we should retain essentially the binary part of the report that says a company has or has not presented its financial statements in accordance with GAAP is another area. Auditors have strong views on that. There are very creative views about whether the auditors should move outside of the year-end reporting and should have more responsibility and be more evidently responsible in the preparation of the interim reports, the 10Q reports. Should they be more evident in the quarterly reporting process? Should they be more involved in it? And there's even serious discussion in the profession of whether they should be more directly involved publicly in the earnings releases. All of these relate to whether or not the retrospective report of the year-end financial report should be supplemented by other reporting venues and other means of enlightening the public about what the auditors are seeing and what they have done. We want to know what the audit profession, the preparer segment of our economy, and what the investors and the users of these financial statements think about all of these issues.